Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, Spence, let's trip out.
I'm afraid not every human is as smurfy as they should be, Sassy.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Yeah, certainly. Here we are.
This pizza pie won't pass. Too many calories. Oh, the rest is okay. Natural light! Get it off me! Get it off me!
I don't know the meaning of the word chip.
Documented Geek Day.
Meg, don't hog the Apple Jacks.
I thought you were studying.
Want some?
No, if it's called Apple Jacks, it should taste like apple.
That's so charming. Everyone knows why they're so good.
Try me.
You're pressuring us. Kellogg's Apple Jacks is part of this complete breakfast. We eat what we like.
Link, Fox, Mega Man, and Mario. The stars of Nintendo sticker cards. You can peel and reveal secret game tips. One free in Kellogg's Apple Jacks.
Hey, no peeking.
What girl's gonna go for me with a body like this?
Hang in there, Tom. I'm you 2 years from now, because you're drinking milk and working out.
Well, I'm not changing so far.
But milk's at work inside you.
Oh, yeah?
And tomorrow the difference can show. All that protein for muscle and calcium for bones.
But I'm still a skinny bench warmer.
Hey, if the sight of yourself at 18 doesn't convince you, Tom, listen to your senior year girlfriend.
Hi, Tom. I'm waiting.
Milk. It does a body good.
Hello. Hello.
All right. And here we are. We are back with another well, I can't say fantastic because I don't really know. I don't pay attention to the numbers anymore. But another episode of the Geek Den.
Yep. Somewhere in there.
With our good buddy Terry Lachance, all the way from Canada.
Victoria, BC. Yeah.
Victoria, the other side of the continent. My God.
Yeah, where are you guys? You guys are...
We're all on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're actually, you could argue that we're all in the Southeast.
Pretty much.
Well, Craig's in Pennsylvania.
I argue it's Pennsylvania, maybe where it is, but to me, it's like the lower right-hand corner of the country.
It's above the Mason-Dixon and it's not south.
Yeah, but since I wasn't alive during that conflict, I don't give a fuck. It's in the lower right-hand section.
It's mid-Atlantic.
That's exactly. I live here. I was raised. I don't give a shit. So if I don't give a shit, nobody else should either. Look at the map, lower right-hand side.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
There was like
southeast of the continent.
I used to be able to actually write every single state down on an empty map of the USA.
Same. I used to know every state by state. Yeah.
You know what's fucked up to me is that you're able to do that, and I am not. I can do the East Coast, and after that, I'm
the East Coast is easy. I always get Vermont and New Hampshire mixed up.
I go from East Coast to Louisiana and up. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Everything past that, though, outside of California and Texas, square state. Nevada is the same thing as everything else.
Yeah, but all right. The reason we're here, Jason had a brilliant idea. You want to go ahead and tell us about it, buddy?
All right. So if anybody should happen to stumble across this and be watching it, really the idea, I mean, pay attention to the movies mentioned, the TV shows mentioned, whatever. Maybe you'll hear something you didn't know before. Really brutal and or surprising scenes in movies that you have seen through the course of your life. So not just, generally horror. We talk about horror a lot on this show. And multiple times. It's something me and Craig love. James is definitely into it.
Yep.
Terry, that's part of why you're here is the number of times you've mentioned it. So
I love it. Yeah.
It's a great genre. But the thing is this also applies all the way across the field in multiple different shows. I mean, you could be watching a drama and out of nowhere somebody gets the brain splattered on something, and that is a shocking fucking scene.
Yeah.
That is what this is about. Leading up to spooky season, why not name some movies, TV shows, or otherwise literature, whatever, that had something you just didn't expect?
Yeah. All right. Well, given that, Terry, you want to go ahead and kick us off, bud?
Yeah. One particular movie that stands out to me is music. What was the Guar, actually? Phallus in Wonderland.
Yeah.
There's two scenes. And the first scene that I think you see in that movie, well, there's a bunch of weird stuff going on in Phallus, but I think it was when they put the camcorder on a kid's skateboard, and he wanted to go down to the warehouse to watch Guar, and his mom is smoking a cigarette, and she's ironing her clothes with an clothes iron, and she kind of goes, "You're not going to see a stinky rock and roll band," and then this kid says to his friend, something about, "You should kill her. She might tell your dad." And it just shows him like bludgeoning her with his skateboard over and over and over. And he's kind of just like okay with that. And like the two friends are about to leave, and then the one kid says, "Well, she's still alive. You need to finish her off." And so they take the clothes iron and then they burn her face. And it was a great scene. It was really cheesy. And I think it was actually Dave Brockie, Odorous, that played the mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was
it was
guy that got
it was.
And it was a really great scene. And
I think Mike Dirk did one too. I think he did one too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was for me, that was hilarious. But I also showed that movie to quite a few people. And the one scene that just really hits everybody and almost makes them sick to their stomach is when they flip the Pope over and sodomize him with a cross and then spank his ass with the Bible. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Like, I knew something bad was going to happen. I was expecting, them to pull his innards out and play with his intestines.
As they do.
That hit at Christianity with the spanking of the Bible and everything. I love that. It's kind of just a little bit.
Who doesn't love blasphemy, man?
Right.
No, I remember watching it when I was 14 years old, I want to say, when I saw that. And I remember thinking at the time, man, they went for broke. Like, they really.
Yeah.
By the way, this was like I had known Guar before I ever heard Crass. And Crass is not everybody's fucking cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine.
Ditto.
I will not argue with your taste and or enjoyment of Crass. I don't fucking care if you like it or not.
Pretty much.
I will say that the Feeding of the 5,000s have the Penny Rimbaud spoken word fucking argument, like, but not even argument, but just like some truly blasphemous shit being spoken.
Yeah.
And I thought at the time, I was like, man, that's pretty horrible. But then Phallus in Wonderland, I was like, oh God, it gets worse, but it's also funny.
It's hilarious, man.
It was a life-changing moment. That's actually, we could argue that.
I was picturing it the entire time, and that's why I was giggling.
Oh no, I've got it in my head right now. I keep thinking about
like the big plump. I think he's got pimples on his ass. Like he's
something
a nice looking ass.
They went fucking all out. They're like, we got foam, we got markers, let's see what we can do.
Yeah. They're a wild band. They really are. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again. Really.
I do love the fact that they're still running with it, though. I mean, we've talked about that before here.
Yeah. I mean, they even outlived Lordy. That band was pretty terrible to begin.
They really, they will be able to replace every member, which was the goal as they went on, as my understanding was, that they did. It's like, you can replace every member, and it's still Guar.
I'm just waiting for Odorous to come back from the dead.
Right? Which,
no shit.
Someone will do it eventually. Give it some time. Let it heal a little bit. Someone will do it.
Yeah.
There will be an
somebody will,
on stage.
it'll be it may not be like odors, but it'll be like either undead or like a bionic.
Yeah.
Like I can see like a bionic odor.
Recognize.
That'd be cool.
I think like
Something
Bishop
like
pulled it
that.
off
Yeah.
well though.
We'll all be in like our 80s and 90s, and they'll finally do it.
Yeah, still be a 20-year-old kid. Dude, that's what's fucked
Lothar
up.
is still like a pretty good character.
We'll be with our
Lothar's
walkers at the
hilarious.
water show getting blasted. Lothar's great.
Yeah.
Lothar's
Oh, no,
fantastic.
he's
Like,
Did you guys ever notice on the DBX album, they had a song called Great News, and it sounds like Dave Brockie calling up his girlfriend, and she breaks up with him before the song starts. She's like, I'm gonna break up with you. I met somebody else, and it's Blothar. And he's like, hey, bitch, get back here. I want to fuck you. So it's Blothar in the background calling the girl, and it's Dave Brockie on the phone crying as the song.
That's fucking great.
It's hilarious.
That's glorious.
I didn't know the man, but I knew enough in the fucking documentaries, the background interviews, and everything that happened afterwards. My guess is he would have been fucking thrilled with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know the
Yeah.
man. I can't speak for him, but I cannot help but think that he'd been like, yes, exactly that, go.
Yeah. He would have loved that.
Wonderful kid.
Okay. Yeah, that was fantastic. I love a good Guar conversation.
I love Guar. It's my favorite band, I think.
They're up there. They're my favorite live show.
Probably one of my
100%.
They're
one of
definitely in
every
like a
album
top
has
three
its
for
own
me.
fucking love. Greg,
Top three?
Greg
Yeah.
fucking can thank his entire childhood for it, apparently.
Pretty much. I first saw them when I was 5. Like my aunt used to let me watch her hard and heavy VHSs.
Is there anything you didn't first see when you were 5?
No. That was a defining year.
Driver's license.
Driver's license.
Oh man, that's when I saw Return of the Living Dead, though.
Yeah.
No, I know. You told that story several times.
I know. It's a great story, though. Let me tell you about children shouldn't play with dead things, though. Let me focus on that.
Oh boy.
Fine.
I've never seen it.
I get it. Fine. Oh, you've never seen it, you said.
Never seen
Oh
it.
Jesus, Terry, why?
You're doing good. Just run with it.
Yeah. Well, you're going to inspire me to go watch it. I know that because
It's in the public domain. It's very easy to find.
All right. So it's an important moment for Craig.
yeah.
It's very important to him, and I respect that. But the movie could.
That movie, man.
It's a
God
little bit
damn it.
Uh,
I love schlock horror.
Yeah.
I love shitty horror.
Yeah.
I even love Z-level horror.
Yeah.
And when I say Z-level, I don't mean zombie. I mean bottom of the fucking list. I'm not. I will scrape the bottom of the barrel for a shitty fucking horror movie to get a good giggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Children shouldn't play with dead things made me rethink all my life choices,
Really?
and not in a good way.
Right.
But that's just me.
It's classic. It is classic.
My apologies. I thought it was.
It's classic.
It was a defining moment in
piece of
horror.
shit.
Well, what is the plot?
Okay,
Like,
so wait,
briefly.
before we go into this,
Is there a plot?
no,
Yes.
there is a plot. I understand Craig's love for it. If you watch it at a young enough age, it is definitely a gateway movie, and not just a gateway movie, but a relatively dark gateway movie. Like when the people that made it intended a horror film.
Yeah.
As an adult, if you watch it, it doesn't do it for you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, not just but like shit. Like
Yeah.
Cinematic masterpiece, I'm telling you. Hey,
it does have its
Undertaker.
I'll let you have this one, Craig. I'm too tired for this one.
That's what I just said. At least it wasn't, what do you call it? What did you make us watch?
Oh, The Undertaker and His Pals. I love that movie.
Oh, I love that.
No, there was one
It's a
that
bit-
we watched
bit
with him that was really like, I don't even know. We all walked away a little like, I forget which
I
one.
can't remember.
Was I here?
Did we watch another one with him?
No, that was way before you came.
That was pre-Jason, yeah.
That was
That
pre-
was- yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So back-
that is cool that got a mention. I didn't. I thought I
Yeah,
was the only person that ever watched it.
The Undertaker and his pals.
Yeah.
It's a pile of shit, but it's a good pile of shit.
Is it a WWE thing?
No,
Really?
not even close.
That's even worse. Like I could have seen you
horror
watching it that way, but it
Really?
sounds like
It was like 50s, 60s, 70s era horror movie, and
psychedelic tomato sauce for blood.
No.
Really, almost like Laverne and Shirley, but with
very Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
very
like Laverne and Shirley, and then there's
like Lenny and Squiggy fucking jacking each other off with blood. I'm still going for the blood.
No,
thing.
man, it was.
There's no blood.
Oh, no,
there's
a
no
lot of
blood.
The main thing with that movie was just the tension. It was almost like a
It was
gang
like,
of
it was like
bikers.
more like a psychological drama.
Yeah.
See, you could argue
kind of
Psycho was a psychological drama.
Just creepy
Yeah, but
people.
like it fell
was
flat
a
of the
creepy
drama
person.
aspect and just.
You know what I mean?
It
had
was
that
more
scene.
more. It was more drama, thriller drama.
It's like the same as like children shouldn't play with dead things was important to Craig, right?
Yeah.
It was important to me, and that's a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah.
It.
The Pit.
Oh, the Pit.
Yeah, so like late 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s, kid discovers a
That's fair.
tribal eating people to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Terrible fucking movie. Horrible movie. Garbage movie. Like if I watched it right now, all I would do is make fun of it because it's a terrible movie. It is. The only thing you ever see of the bad guy or the monster in it is some glowing spots from a dark area. You never see anybody. There's no viscera. There's nothing like that, and the acting is atrocious.
Yeah,
but it's a good movie. Like it pulls you in, to me, anyways. But I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen it. So.
Yeah, you're not missing shit. Don't go find it. Go find it.
I've probably seen it too, and I just can't even remember.
No, my guess is you blocked it out because it is that stupid.
Yeah,
like it's bad. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather watch the My Pet Monster movie. That is more of a horror movie.
No, I knew that was gonna get a rise out of it.
Listen.
No, I mean,
Friday, you want to start something with him? Go ahead.
Dude, I am a mountain. I'm not joking. I would literally rather watch the My Pet Monster movie. It was a good movie. When I was like 6 years old watching that, I was like, fucking yes.
So, all right, let's get back on track here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm sure you know, Terry. We get off track a lot here. That's what we do.
Yeah.
It keeps it fun.
Good at what we do.
Entertaining. Yes, but anyway, I came into this with like the intention of mentioning scenes that like just kind of shocked me. It made me cringe a little bit, or made me go, "Holy fucking shit, that's badass." You know what I mean? And one of those scenes for me was the ear scene in Reservoir Dogs.
Ah, great one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Michael Madsen is just dancing around the Steelers wheel and talking into the ear.
Yeah.
And
what song? There's a song.
Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like that song's been ingrained in my DNA ever since.
Such an upbeat fucking tune for the nature of
and such an
it's a horrifying.
Off, you know, like
it's such a horrifying scene.
Also, even
but then you see this guy just casually. Yeah.
He loves what he does,
right? Quentin Tarantino, right? Making that movie. This is his first real foray into Hollywood, right? Like this is his moment.
Yeah.
And
this is his breakout.
The actor in that scene, I don't know that I can immediately recall him in anything else.
Michael Madsen.
Not Michael Madsen, the cop.
Oh, the other guy, the cop. Yeah, I can't remember.
Tim Roth.
So well.
Roth, right?
No. Tim Roth was the other guy.
Yeah, the actor, the cop who was in the scene getting his ear removed, blood and spit just leaking down his face, and he is terrified, and he is stuttering, and he's shaking because
the look on his face is pure terror.
He's terrified. That is an incredible scene. If for no other reason than this actor, who, like I said, I cannot think of anything else he's been in, but man, he fucking nailed that.
Yeah,
killed that role. Yeah.
Like just the horror that's made in that moment.
First time I saw that movie when I was like maybe 13 years old, I just remember staring at my TV going, with like my eyes this fucking big, and just going, holy fucking shit.
And they barely, what's fucked up is they barely showed it, which is, I guess, a testament to to Tarantino's knowledge of how a camera works, they barely show anything. They show the blade coming down. They show him holding the ear, but after that, it just kind of fades off to the side while he's sawing, and then the next thing you see is him holding a piece of something. Like it's an ear. You know it's an ear because you saw, or you saw the conveyed moment of it being cut off, but it's not in your face. That it didn't have to be.
Right.
Otherwise, most of the
It's real subtle.
Yeah, it's that build up, right? It's like there's an
like the off-screen horror.
Mm-hmm.
It being able to
Tarantino is
about what it could be.
Yeah, he puts it into your brain and lets your imagination run wild. And Tarantino is a fucking master at that.
He did a good job of that shit.
He's a fucking artist when it comes to that shit.
Honestly, there's not a Tarantino movie that I don't like.
I like them all.
Same. I love them all.
Like, Tarantino had something to do with it. Even the fucking shit that he produced without directing. I'm like, nah, he chose a good movie.
Four Rooms was a good example.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, From Dusk Till Dawn's fucking brilliant. But I mean, that we could go for days on
Dusk Till Dawn. I'm wearing my titty twister shirt.
Apple pie. So the point of that movie, everything that happens in that fucking film is a fucking complete shock. Even after you know what the fuck is happening, it's still a complete shock. Like it's one shocking moment after another. Back to the subject of this. I would not have originally named From Dusk Till Dawn, but thinking about it, when I first saw it, I went in fucking blind because even the previews that you saw for it didn't actually explain what you were in for. What it was
go back and watch the trailers. They don't explain shit.
No, you saw the fucking criminal lead up and then the reaction shots to the horror, but not the actual explanation.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be a pure crime drama.
Oh no, yeah, I thought it was just going to be blood, and then the next thing you know, Selma Hayek fucking as a weird cobra vampire creature, and like, I was just like, holy shit, this is the greatest thing ever. I was in the theater watching that shit, like, all of this, all of it. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Harvey Keitel, what are you doing here? Fucking great.
Yeah, right.
Just random New York had like a Rob Zombie feel to it, even though Rob Zombie had nothing to do with it. I wonder if that would have been an early influence for Rob Zombie in his filmmaking.
I think, dude, I don't know.
It probably had a hand. It might have had a hand for sure.
Your first introduction to Rob Zombie for me, movie-wise, not obviously not, White Zombie, but the first movie was House of a Thousand Corpses. That was the big thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when I saw it in theaters like 4 times. Like I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
Yeah.
But the entire thing, even the first time I saw it, I was like, this is a fucking love letter to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
All of it.
Oh, he'll tell you that.
Literally a love letter to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the later movies where it was, what do you call it? The lady that sold houses and shit, the realtor.
Mm-hmm.
It just kept adding people in, but it's still pretty much stuck to the same story.
It is a wonderful film. That is somebody, like, I would argue that Rob Zombie is a dude who truly loved his horror.
Yeah.
Because even the Monsters, the Netflix Monsters thing, like he
fucking loved it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
What's he working on right now? He's putting out a big one.
I hope a sequel to The Monsters.
No.
There's that's hilarious. This time Grandpa comes back, except he's more vampire. He's got longer teeth.
Yeah. A wider widow.
But there needs to be. That was just the beginning of the story that they told.
Actually, that brings me to one brutal moment I've seen in Rob Zombie's Halloween where he beats him with the stick.
Yeah.
I mean the log, not stick.
Oh. I got one too that relates to that. It's another Rob Zombie movie. Well, we'll just keep the theme going, I guess. Devil's Rejects.
Ooh.
When he beats the ever loving shit out of Jeffrey Lewis.
Yeah.
With that tree branch in the desert.
Yeah.
And then he saws off the other guy's face.
Yeah.
What was like that scene? Like that was the whole thing. Taking
that whole scene, yeah, it was fucking.
That was Julia Lewis's dad. That's who that was. The guy's face. I can't remember his name.
Jeffrey Lewis. The late great Jeffrey Lewis.
Thank you. Fucking wonderful in everything he's in.
Yes.
It really wonderful. By the way, he's always good. Like it didn't matter what he was in, still him. And
Double Impact.
was good. Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
Is that a Double Impact? What is that?
It's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he plays twin brothers.
That was my hero.
No, that's Double Team. You're thinking Double Team.
Oh, my bad. My apologies.
It's also a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, but that's the one with Dennis Rodman.
I'm sorry I confused the bullshit fucking release.
Double Impact is when it was.
That movie's terrible.
It was two John Claudes.
Yeah. He was twin brothers, yeah.
One had a right? Wasn't that the separation? Like one had a mullet, one didn't? Or am I thinking about
one had his hair slicked back. It wasn't a mullet. He just had it. You're thinking Time Cop.
Party on Top. Party on Top. That's what that is.
In Time Cop, he had a mullet.
Oh, fuck.
And then short hair.
You know what's fucked up? Time Cop was actually a pretty good movie.
Really good movie.
Yeah, Time Cop was great.
It was done at a bad time. Like they did not like if it was done now, the effects would have been beautiful.
Oh God, no.
Oh no, absolutely. Think about it. The whole idea of the fact that you could fold in on yourself.
Oh, if they use today's effects.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But remade Time
Cop
right now with somebody who was not doing the splits every 5 seconds. You would actually have a really good movie. Like it was a clever story, done badly.
Yeah. It's a great story.
Jean-Claude Van Damme had to every 5 seconds. How are you going to get out of this fucking situation, John? Probably going to fucking separate my legs and drop.
Shut up. That was a great movie.
And he did it wearing tight Wrangler.
Anyway,
he did do it wearing like Jordashes that were in his butt crack, which is amazing. Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Jeans don't fucking separate like that without splitting. Jean-Claude made it happen. Yeah. I will give him the dog because he deserves it. He's good at what he does.
He really is.
The split.
Yeah. Anyway, coming back around, Jeffrey Lewis. Yes. When he gets the shit knocked out of him with the stick in Devil's Rejects, like akin to the sticks in the tree branch in Halloween. Just imagine you're holding a branch or somebody's holding a branch over top of you, and that's the last thing you're going to see.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's fucking horrifying to think about. Like, that's one of my worst nightmares.
To me,
and I don't have many of them.
It's scary.
That movie, the scene in which when Chop Top, someone help me out, Bill Moseley, Otis is sitting there and he's like, the next words out of your mouth better be some real Shakespeare shit because they're going to be the last. To me,
better be.
That would be a terrifying fucking moment right there. You would know no matter what happens from this point, this man is going to fucking kill you. It is over. It's done.
And he proves it in the desert scene with Jeffrey Lewis. When Jeffrey Lewis is laying there on the ground praying, he stands over top of him, pulls his hair to the side, and says, "I am the devil when I'm here."
Nah, that was just a shout out to fucking Manson.
It was, but
even when I saw it in theaters, I was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
Look, Jason, I don't give a fuck about Charlie Manson when I'm talking. I understand it's a shout out, but like,
well, it was used well.
That was perfect.
It was used very
perfect in the juxtaposition.
But it was unnecessary for the amount of horror that it led up to that point. He could have rewritten that. It could have been truly wide and epic. It could have been his. Instead, he quoted fucking dipshit text from fucking loser asshole fucking having a cold in California.
Well, that's the
thing.
That's where
I don't fucking care. So fuck Manson.
Yeah, but that's where the Mark Twain line, that is his, you know what I mean? The next words out of your mouth better be some brilliant fucking Mark Twain shit because it's definitely getting chiseled on your tombstone.
That's why I like in Free From Hell with the clown.
It's a great delivery of that line too. Like
it's all tension. Exactly what that is.
Tension's what I like.
Yeah.
Tension in a scene like any of those.
Yeah.
Like with the tree branches.
Well, that's like right. If you were watching Rejects, you had already seen the House of 1,000 Corpses. Being able to build any tension in that moment because you know what you're in for. The fact that you still went and still watching and we're still like, oh, you know what I mean? Like he did well. He did really good with it. All the actors
did his job.
Yeah, no, he did more than his job. The actors did great. Everybody was wonderful. Even the camaraderie riding down the road with the whole fucking tutti fucking fruity bullshit around, right? It's such a silly moment and something that otherwise is just horrific.
Yeah.
Well, even the gas station, Captain Spaulding, that was weird. They're in a dirty, like, little quickie mart. There's cobwebs. These guys are in the middle of nowhere. That to me is freaky if you go into a place like that. And Captain Spaulding is like as redneck as it gets.
Yeah.
You know, like he's got the rotten teeth, big lamb chop side. Like he was whack.
Even watching the original House of a Thousand Corpses, the fact that any of them
fuck your grandma
after meeting Captain Spaulding, like they deserve their fates. I'm not saying like, you know, God punish you, but you.
I would turn around
and you're like, I'm going to go and that. That's on
right. I'm going to keep seeing what this is all about.
This guy is fucking crazy, and I bet he would eat me if given the chance. Let's see where he tells us.
Let's see if that's what happens, huh?
I wonder if that does happen in that sort of situation. Like, somebody's going to kill you, and you're scared, so you're going to be in shock, right? And you're not going to make good choices. And, like, how captivated would you be by the person that's going to kill you sometimes? They're waving blades, they're dancing, doing a dance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you might just go with it because at that point, you're so scared. You give in to your fear.
Yeah, like the shock kind of sets in and you're kind of going to autopilot.
Yeah.
If I've ever found myself in an environment which there's somebody dancing at me with fucking sharp objects and I'm across the room watching it fucking happen, I deserve what's coming.
Yeah.
Like I have allowed myself to end up this. There's no way there weren't warning signs. There's no way I was like, hey, wait a second, we were having cupcakes. That is not something that I'm going to say, and that's what I'm going to say is, oh, yeah, no, I did this. I should have known. I'm sorry. I saw you eat the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, totally unexpected sometimes.
All right, so if it comes out of nowhere, if it is a truly come out of nowhere fucking moment, which leads me to my fucking horrific scene, cabin fever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you, all right, so I saw that movie in the theater a couple of times. The original version, not the remake. Haven't seen the remake yet, but from my understanding, it's really good. It's like a shot for shot.
It's decent, but it's just a shot for shot, new cast, and everything.
Which is okay.
Eli Roth produced it.
I will watch an updated version because it is a great movie. It is wonderful. The idea of
it's a different director's perspective.
On Eli Roth's idea, right? So that is
Eli Roth produced it, but he did not direct it or write it.
My thoughts are that if he chose to produce it, he did so after reading this guy's version of it. So my thoughts are, he's like, do that. When I saw the movie a couple times in theaters, and when it came out on DVD, I bought it, and they had a version in the DVD that was called the PG version. Fucking hilarious. If he chose the PG version, it was just them meeting at school and then driving off into the distance, and then it was done. It was over. They also had a girlfriend version, which was fucking, it was the same thing, except every time blood showed up on screen, hands would pop up over the fucking screen. It was fucking hilarious. Anyway, point of the matter is, cabin fever. I knew what I was in for, but I did not when I was like, I was like, I don't know, 22 maybe when I saw that, 21 maybe. I did not understand the depths that I was about to enter.
Yeah.
Like, it is. I would also argue that Cabin Fever is a bit of a love letter to Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
If not for any other reason, it's an isolated place wherein you're dealing with a bunch of backwoods shit you don't understand, and everybody's dying, and no one is going to help.
Yeah.
And there's no one for miles.
Yes.
And it's like
Chainsaw or Friday the 13th, like kind of a shout out episode.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. All of that. The scene in the original movie was the girl shaving her legs in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I know
where you're going with this.
I understood what was about to happen, and it still bothered me.
Yeah.
A lot of that movie bothered me, but that moment with her taking the razor, like I was in the original night when I saw it, everybody in the theater was like, oh, no. Oh, And that's like, because yeah, why would you, dude? Your fucking flesh is running off. You know, why are you shaving your fucking legs now? That's stupid. Oh, there it goes.
Yep.
It's a moment. Like, you know it's coming. It's telegraphed from so far away, but when it happens, it still makes your stomach drop just a little.
Yeah.
So yeah, Captain.
No, that was a great fucking scene. And no, there's definitely one of those moments where for the first time I watched it, I'm just like, okay, that's what we're doing today. All right,
I'm back.
we're grossing me out. Welcome back, Craig.
Had to let the cat
Also
in.
the fact that it all started with a dog. That was another thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not something like you don't see it a lot in a lot of different movies. There is a taboo in horror movies. Like we all know it. You don't fuck with kids. You don't fuck with animals, right? You just don't.
Yeah.
If you do, it better be in service to the story. It's got to be something big. It's got to be important. So the fact that it was the guy, the homeless dude in the woods, coming up to his dog, trying to find out why it was sick, and then it just fucking burst on him. That was kind of a shock to me too. That was a little.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay.
I'm a dog person, so like I love my dog, man.
Oh yeah, no, seriously. There's what's funny to me. You go to any horror con.
I cry when dogs die in movies.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
I bawl my eyes out.
Right now,
It's
there's
so
not a
sad.
single person that won't.
Yeah.
And we
Never
know
the dog. Never the dog.
No.
That's a rule.
Like I Am Legend. That movie made me cry.
Yeah.
All right, so the fucking story that it's based on, though,
yeah,
a far cry from that.
No, I know.
Dog, the fact
that
they did that to make up for poor writing so Will Smith can make funny jokes. Sorry, I don't like Will Smith. I like him in certain movies. I didn't like him that. It pissed me off. I digress. Continue.
Terry, you got another one? Hey, look. that made for great memes.
You had your chance.
So, Terry, you got another one for us? Let's hear it.
Well,
anything off the top of your head?
Just Terrifier, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
No.
But like, I am a
Terrifier 3? Yeah, no.
Wait.
Terrifier 3 is off limits, right?
Yep.
Terrifier 3 is off limits. The other two are not, however.
The other two are fair game.
And 2 and 3 have a lot of things that I noticed that were interesting to me that are in both movies. It's like and I haven't quite figured it out yet, but they place the Last Supper of Jesus behind one of the kill scenes. There seems to be some kind of like, why is this happening? Who is our
religious connotation?
Yeah, and why is this kind of violence in the world? Because it's not just in the movies, right? Like this stuff happens.
Yeah.
And so maybe not on that scale, and like we haven't had the super serial killer of that like magnitude yet, but it made me think about just like, why are we as people becoming more and more desensitized? Was it the video games? Is it the horror movies? Or is it our religion? And is it like the prescription pills we're popping? Like, what is fucking us up, man? Because it's like, that was another theme I noticed in Terrifier movies. It has something to do with mental illness. It has something to do
is definitely
with trying to cover it up with prescription drugs. And there's just no escape, right?
Right.
And that shit freaks me out.
Yeah, no.
It was unexpected. I didn't expect to go into that movie and feel like a deeper meaning behind things. I was going in for Slaughterama. Like, I want to see some slash but there's things in Terrifier that I was catching subconsciously, and they really bothered me.
Right.
Like,
yeah, no, that's I understand.
Craig could probably
totally logical.
After this, so could Craig. Rewatch them. Watch them again. That's what's fucked up about it. The more you watch them, the more like shit. It's like, oh,
the more shit you pick up on.
There was a reason behind.
Yeah, those kill scenes.
We're attributing.
Really thought that out.
And And I'm going to bring up one of those kill scenes right now, and that's the hacksaw scene, because that was the first scene in a movie, specifically a horror movie. Every time you see it, you're fucking cringing.
Yeah.
Lip to lip. I'm like, come on, man. Like, good Lord. And
Did
so.
You lip to lip? Is that what you just said?
That's exactly what I just said. Yes.
Christ. I never thought about it like that until now, and now I'm offended. Bothered, sir. I am bothered by the fact that you would describe it in such a way without also drawing a picture, because Jesus Christ, that's great. That's fucking.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching this movie. I'm talking to Craig the entire time. That scene comes on, and it's the middle of the day, and I'm sitting there in my living room on my recliner like this. Like, I've never done that in a movie.
Yeah.
Ever. So for Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton to pull that off, like, well fucking done, gentlemen, because you did your fucking job and then some. You know, because they keep delivering.
Yeah.
Like, there was more than a few scenes, and like, I'm not spoiling anything when I say this. Like, there's more than a few scenes in the third one that made me do that.
It doesn't matter, like, who hates the Terrifier franchise. It's made for
people like us.
Another level of horror, like looking for that 80s flashback and everything like that.
It's a horror movie made for horror fans.
Yeah.
I mean, for a specific, it's not in a specific group. I mean, the idea, all right, so in the different Facebook groups or Twitter groups or whatever that you run across, there are people that are just like, fucking Terrifier, it was dumb.
Yeah.
You're going for.
That's what I got to say to those people.
Going for a notice. I understand that, because the fact is, the good majority of us are like, yeah, that movie was made for us. Yeah. It was not like there's what's the best way to put it? When you look at any of the terror, like the first time I went across it was on Netflix. It was in my suggested tab when they still did the thing where you could rate it and they would just suggest movies based on it. I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking wonderful. It's horrible, but it's wonderful. You know what I mean? And then after that, I start seeing stuff pop up online about it. Like, oh my God, have you guys seen this movie on fucking Netflix? It's incredible. And then suddenly they're like, okay, it got enough notice on Netflix, so we're going to make a second theatrical release, and we're really going to be broken. I remember thinking at the time, thank God somebody did it. They're doing it.
It was all, like, the second one was all fan funded, basically. Like, they did Kickstarters and everything. That's how the first kill at the Clown Cafe was actually somebody that runs one of the Art to Clown appreciation groups. So she donated so much money, and she actually got a kill scene.
Which is fucking badass.
The whole idea that horror fans were sitting there ready to fund that shit just to get something that brought them. I don't want to say brought them.
Needed more.
Oh, look how much money we spend on merch and shit. Like, it's never ending for a
shit.
And, like, you could talk about Terrifier for fucking days,
dude.
Yeah, you could.
It's a clown, but it's also a mime. That is
call him a mime.
Don't like. It's like they don't like clowns, and they don't like mimes, and they don't like getting murdered.
All of a sudden, you're gonna see him pop into the room. Hey, knock it off.
He's a clown who acts like a mime.
Right.
The fact
because mimes don't carry props.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They wouldn't.
I've never seen a mime carrying props.
You would not use the.
They mime that they have props.
He's a degenerate mime. His facial, like he's. You know.
Yeah, he mimes with his face, sure.
The group of people right here, you guys have all seen. I have not seen part 3 yet. I'm waiting till a digital release so that I can.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah, dude. You'll have a new Christmas Carol by the end of it.
I like delayed gratification, not with everything, but with movies, like with a good story. And that's the thing. From what you've told me, there is furtherance to the story, which is what I really care about.
Only a little bit, just
even if it's a small amount, it doesn't matter.
But enough. There's enough there.
Well, and that's the thing. From what I understand, Leone's idea is to wrap it up with 4. He doesn't want to do 5 because he doesn't want to turn it into this whole fucking thing, which I think is great that he is.
No, that's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Wrap it up with 4. Please do so. Give me an entire encompassed story because I do care about stories. And the fact is, like, I hear people bitching online about this shit. Like, it's not even a story. It's just violence for violence sake. No, you want to see that? Go look at fucking Von Tier's fucking Antichrist.
Yeah.
There's violence for fucking violence sake. It's fucking stupid. Shock value. It's garbage. This does have a story. It has actors, and it's got a fucking anti-hero you kind of want to root for, even though he's horrible. And you want to root for him. You want to know why. Like, what is the reasoning behind this bullshit?
Right.
Also, makes
ancient evil, man. He's an ancient evil. It's always been there.
Which I'm okay with, but that falls under like the Rawhead Rex shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was so much. Like I am hoping that they pull something new. I am hoping that Leone and even Thornton, any of the people involved in this, have watched enough movies to be like, wait a second, we've done this, and they've subverted expectations all the way through. So my hope, my true hope, is that the part 4. And incidentally, this is having only seen part 2. Not seeing part 3, but even part 2 subverted my expectations. The whole thing with the mirror and her coming back to life and all that shit. Like there's mythos being built.
Yeah,
there's
supernatural feel to it.
There is something big coming, and that's what I'm really hoping for. That is my
definitely expanded on that with Purple.
There is,
which that's the thing. I fully expect that they did, and I am hoping that by part 4 they wrap it up in a way I do not see coming. That is one of the big things.
I think that's what they're going for.
I think you're gonna love it. It just you alluded to something earlier about children in horror movies, things that aren't allowed taboo. I think that is where Terrifier is going.
Yeah.
And it's gonna rock your socks, man.
Provided that it's in furtherance to the story. That's what's important to me.
It's a message that's he's saying something.
Like when I mentioned Lars von Trier's Antichrist, that is a movie that so many people are like, oh, it's brilliant, go watch it. I think it's one of the dumbest fucking movies ever made. It's just stupid. Every scene was done in order to shock people. It's crap. Not only was it done to fucking shock people, it was done in a way that you're not shocked, you see it coming. I mean, even all the way up to the end of that movie with Willem Dafoe getting fucking jerked off until he fucking spurts blood. Like that was literally, that is the fact that I can make that statement. I can describe that scene in such a manner. Should tell you everything you need to know about the fucking movie. It is horrible. And I love Willem Dafoe. I fucking love him. I hate Lars von Trier. He's crap.
That reminds me, I cannot wait for the new Nosferatu movie. Because Willem Dafoe plays me in Helsing.
No, that's the thing. Love Willem Dafoe. Fucking stoked about Willem Dafoe. Hate Lars von Trier.
That's completely fair.
Willem Dafoe was actually good in Antichrist. Because he's good.
Willem Dafoe's great. He's fucking great.
Actually, even the chick in Antichrist, I can't remember her name, she was great in it. She did the part well. The story was garbage. It was shock for shock's value. And that is, you do that to a horror person. We've seen Shock.
No.
We don't fucking care.
Yeah, we've been there. We've done that. We want story. We still want the blood and guts, but we still want the story.
Yeah, or else we'd be watching snuff movies like everybody else. Eh?
Even if it's just like a basic, simple story, you know, it doesn't have to be anything like great. As long as you can put pieces together, all that really matters. And people are like, oh, there's no story. There is a story, but you just have to see it. Like you have to follow what's going on, you know, and you're never gonna figure it out until he finally finishes with 4. Then I think all questions will be answered.
Which is my hope. That actually sounds.
I have a feeling the fourth one will blow us all away.
Yeah.
Like that final scene in Terrifier 3. Like for me, that was the most intense.
Yeah, like looking back, like without spoiling anything, like the ending of Terrifier 3, for me, it. Like looking back, because I kind of left the theater going like not knowing how to feel about it, and then, but I got home and I stewed on it for a day or two, and I was just like, that's suspense that I'm feeling.
Good.
Like, where the fuck are we going with this?
Well, I don't think Sienna knows where it's going. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I'm in her head. Like, where the fuck are we going right now? Like, what do we have to do?
I'll also add to them. They have given up. Like, It's gonna sound weird, but like you've seen people mention it, like, "Oh, we have a new Final Girl." When's the last time there was a Final?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we finally have a new fucking Final Girl. There hasn't been one in fucking forever.
Yeah.
Every
Not one that's memorable.
Parts involve like what Hatchet? You go with Hatchet, right? What's her name? The girl from the original Halloween 4.
Jamie Lee.
Danielle Harris.
Danielle Harris.
That's her.
Harris.
You could argue that she's the final girl in that, except she's not really. They sort of threw her in afterwards. It was an add-on. And don't get me wrong, Hatchet's a great series. The entire, like, all of them are wonderful. Tony Todd's in it.
Victor Crowley movie.
I'll fucking watch it.
Great movies.
Damien Leone and everybody involved in the Terrifier movies know who the fuck their audience is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they make movies for them. And the next thing you know, they're beating the fucking multi-million-dollar Warner Brothers released Joker.
Yep.
Because they
number
know
one movie in the box office. Independent movie was number one in the box office.
You know what's hilarious about
Independent slasher movie.
No, there are people sitting in the fucking lot right now being like, "Where'd we go wrong?" They still don't know. That's what's fucked
Not
up.
a fucking clue.
We did a fucking research thing, and that one little Asian girl we asked told us that this was the way to go. You shit on your fucking fans. That's what you did. You gave it to a guy who didn't give a shit about it. He wanted to make his own movie and did it with the Joker as his fucking background.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, spoiler warning, that's the only thing I'm going to say. Arthur Fleck fucking dies at the end. He's not the goddamn Joker. Joker's fucking dead.
Are we ever going to find out who the Joker is?
Oh, no, the Joker, the guy that's going to become the Joker, fucking kills him. Here's the thing, though. We're never going to see a third part because this one bombed. Because it was given to a director who did not give a fuck about the source material.
Yep.
Can't say that about Terrifier, though.
No. Todd Phillips is as good of a director and writer as he is. Like, should have left the Joker series alone. Like, yeah, he did that one movie and it was good, but like, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
And he went the complete wrong direction.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I don't know
All
what it
respect to Lucky Pete.
Is he a young director?
No, he's been around a hot minute. He's the guy who did Road Trip and Euro Trip.
Oh yeah.
He did Road Trip and Euro Trip. What else did he do? He's done a bunch of shit. Yeah. He's been around for a hot.
He's like
better part of 30 years.
He's a director that wanted to make a movie with a multi-million-dollar budget, which he did. I mean, it's a huge fucking budget. It's the cinematography. By the way, cinematography is great. It looks good. It's just a terrible fucking story. It's horrible.
Well, the Joker should be more like Terrifier. The Joker's a fucking really fucked up.
Oh yeah, he's fucking
maniacal motherfucker.
Yeah, but again, it's Batman. It's in a comic book. You know, like they kind of. I would like to see just an 18A Joker movie. Let's go.
And David Howard Thornton wants to play him,
and he would probably do a fucking brilliant job.
Totally.
Actually,
he has done a brilliant.
I saw the little short film.
The web series.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
What kills me about the Joker? If you were to take the Frank Miller version of the Batman shit and run with it as the Joker, then you know that the Joker only exists because Batman exists.
Yeah.
It's in response to Batman. Like without Batman, there would be no crime in Gotham. He invites all challengers, so all challengers occur. In particular, the Joker, who is only insane because he fucking hates the Batman.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
If you ran with that as the idea for a film, Jesus, it would be beautiful. It would be amazing. But once again, the people that own the rights don't understand.
Yep.
Oh, which runs me back to our original point. So I believe when I brought this up to everybody, I kept giving the same example of something. RoboCop, Chemical Man.
Yeah.
I saw that movie in theaters with my dad. I think I was like 10.
Splattered all over the car.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't know. He knew it was R-rated, but he's like, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I watched that movie when I was like 3 at my babysitter's house.
No, that's the thing. I was okay with it. By the time it was over with, you know what scared me more? The Last Starfighter. The Last Starfighter scared the shit out of me.
That was a good movie.
Oh, it's a fucking brilliant. But here's the thing. RoboCop, Chemical Man, dude getting blasted by chemicals and then melting as he asks for help before he gets smacked by a fucking cop car and splatters across the windshield. That was a moment I did not see coming. I watch it now and I'm like, that is brilliant and I love it.
It's my favorite scene.
Everybody should aspire to such moments.
RoboCop is really gory.
Oh, it's fucking
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's bloody.
It's an action movie, but it's almost borderline
it
slapstick.
skirts the line. It skirts that line.
When RoboCop, when Murphy fucking pops his little digital fucking reader blade into
stabs Kurtwood Smith when
he pulls it back, there's a chunk of his throat that comes out. That was
you see the blood.
Like I was watching that shit, I was like, wow, that is exactly the way a RoboCop should behave.
Yes,
they could never top that. They can never top RoboCop.
That's why they should have never remade it, and we'll never see that piece of shit.
You know what's funny? My understanding is that the remake was actually due to studio interference. There's some shit that hit the floor that would have made it wonderful. That's what I've been led to believe. But it was trying to make it. Well, it's just studio interference.
I don't care.
13, so we can get a bigger audience.
Right.
I don't care about studio interference. I believe that movie should have never been remade. Ever.
I'm okay with. Well, we talked about this. Like, I actually think the Friday the 13th remake was incredible. I think the Platinum Dune shit was a wonderful effort. I am a big fan of remakes. Even the Demon Knight.
I'm like half and half with them. Like, I don't even I don't want to watch it again to make a fair opinion, but like I kind of have to because I've only seen it one time.
Let me rephrase.
But to me, Jackie Earle Haley did a great job. It was not his fault, but the story,
it was because that was like yet. Oh my God! Please don't let this happen. Robert Englund, thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Robert Englund had said what he thought went wrong with the remake, and I agree with him. It makes all the sense in the world. It's like Freddy Krueger is a horrifying creature by itself.
Yeah.
Kills teenagers. He kills children. He is bad enough. You don't have to make him a fucking child rapist. And making that part of it made it so much worse. Like, it becomes a thing where it's like you can't identify with the villain anymore. It's done. There's no fucking like this guy got burned by parents. He deserved to be fucking burned by parents. Fuck him. You know? Like, no one cares. The idea.
He got where he had come from.
No, if you look at part 3 where they first introduce Amanda Kruger, and then the Dream Child where it's suddenly like raped by fucking 1,000 maniacs.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing is enough to be like, oh God, he's bad. He's gross.
Right.
That's enough. You don't have to be like, oh, also, he rapes children.
Right.
We fucking knew it was implied. It's not something you have to fucking add in.
Yeah.
Like Jackie Earle Haley, that dude is incredible at what he does. He's an incredible actor.
It gets a little too real, right? Like, because
it does. It becomes
the Freddy movies are a fantasy. They have the kid.
They're clearly
the kid. It's
very
really
much
out of this dimension.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's a different dimension.
I mean, watch part 6. The fact that a bunch of dream demons that look like little fucking burned sperm show up and they're like, "You want to live forever?" And he's like, "Yes, I do." And they're like, "Let's party." That's the thing where everybody can be like, "Okay, that's how he came into existence. We're all good." Not fucking, I touched your child, and now I'm still hearing their dreams doing the same thing. It's fucking gross. It's not necessary.
No.
That's once again where people who do not understand what makes a horror fan a horror fan. It's not. They're not bad people. They don't want to see the shit.
It's imagination, right? We have
active imaginations. Give us a bad guy.
It's an escape from reality, because reality sucks, and that's you could take it all away just by throwing a movie in.
Seriously. I mean, the fucking Michael Myers shit, like the Rob Zombie Michael Myers stuff, the reason why it worked is because it made Michael Myers an understandable character, or at least the first one. Little contention about the second one. I like a lot of people.
It didn't need to happen, but Rob Zombie did it just to shut the studio up. He didn't want to do it at all.
But the
he wanted the first one to be a standalone movie.
And it could have been, and that's the whole thing. The idea behind it, like, you can understand it. You can get behind it.
Yeah.
to an extent. You can be like,
Did
oh,
not need a sequel.
that's why he is what he is, and you can still identify. But the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street, it could have been wonderful. It could have launched a new franchise. They just hadn't tried to make it darker. It's already dark as fuck. You don't need that.
That movie fucked me up. Nightmare on Elm Street. As a kid.
All of us.
I had nightmares, man. I had nightmares. I used to crawl into my mom and dad's bed. If they were boning or whatever and the door was locked, I'd go jump into my brother's bed, like in his bedroom. And
I'm
like
so
that
happy
went on
that's
for a long time, man.
I was terrified that was going to go a different way altogether. Like I was like, I picked that fucking lock. Either way, my parents don't talk to me anymore.
Oh God. They hated Freddy.
On that note,
like, oh man, knocking on their door every night. Mom, Freddy's gonna get me.
We are
on that note,
a new sibling. Damn it.
Let's take a little break.
Let you watch that movie.
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Take a little break, and then we'll come back and wrap things up.
RoboCop, part man, part robot, all cop.
Drop it!
RoboCop and the Ultra Police, each sold separately. The only cops with rapid repeat cap firing.
Evil headhunter on a skullhawk is cruising for trouble. RoboCop in his armored RoboCopter takes off after him. Fire Robo-missile. We'll give you a lift to jail.
You put RoboCopter together. RoboCop vehicles and figures with RoboCaps, each sold separately.
I don't want to grow up, don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up, don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. From bike to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up, cause if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up, don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
I got a few. All right, and we are back. It's honorable mention time. Just because some of us have to get up early and don't really have time to go super in depth. But a few of mine, like, okay, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003, the first remake that they did.
Great remake. Wonderful remake.
The scene where he cuts the dude's leg off with the chainsaw and then pulls him down the stairs and his fingernails rip off on the wall.
Ugh.
Yeah. First, yeah, exactly. Enough said there. And then when he's hanging him on the meat hook and then he takes a double handful of salt, puts it right on his stump.
Yeah.
I screamed when I first saw that. Because, like, just the thought of that shit, like, everybody here's gotten salt in the wound.
Yeah.
And you start to think we're just fucking meat, man. Like,
it's like, oh God, no, fuck me running. You know,
I'm not even. I don't feel human anymore. I feel like a bag of fucking rotten meat running around.
Right. Exactly.
With a bunch of
another one for me was the transformation scene in American Werewolf in London.
Great scene.
Like, just
shocking as fuck, especially if you didn't understand it.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the first time you see that movie and that scene starts happening, you're like, oh fuck. Like just you can't look away because it's all practical effects. Like to pull that off with just makeup and machinery.
And a guy who's performing and contorting.
Screaming Matt Jordan. Yeah. Like there are so many dudes at the time that were in charge of the special effects that we will not see their like again. I mean, even Tom Savini is still somebody that they bring in to say that they have Tom Savini working, but at the end, it's all CGI now. And don't get me wrong, it works to further a story, or at least it can. But there was something about practical effects, and it's something I'm sure I'm not speaking just for myself here. The idea that somebody took the time to grab a bunch of foam and latex, run tubes through that shit, and figure out a way to make it look right on camera. Like you get a result that cannot be done with a computer. And that's, again, not one of those.
Rick Baker was a master of that shit.
Well, I mean, From Beyond, right? Stuart Gordon, and like that movie is
A good example.
a fucking classic, and it's all practical effects. And that was actually going to be one of my suggestions for shocking moment was what's his name, the football player, when they the flashlight is spinning around and the creatures from the other dimension can't go in the light, but they get to him when the light is away, and he goes back, and Bubba, his fucking flesh is gone, and it's just bones and him dying, just his upper body, and he's just dying.
Yeah.
That was brilliant, and it's like you can watch it now and be like, I know how they did that. Of course, you know how they did that, but at the time, it was cut well, it was assembled well, the effects looked incredible, and it was intense.
Yeah.
Like every moment in that movie is brilliant. And it's the same with American Werewolf in London. Same reasoning. It's because somebody was like, how do we make this look right? Like something like Society.
Reanimator with the
Reanimator,
head.
Christ.
Yeah.
Just the head. Exactly. You know how it was done. You know that he is sitting under a fucking board with a tray around his neck. Just watching the movie, all you can think is this fucking asshole is still here, still fucking with these people, just being a complete douchebag. Oh, great, now he's going down on a chick. Like that. No, I mean, like seriously, the fact that they threw that in there, or even the fact that in that movie there's a scene in which one of the reanimated corpses flings its intestines to strangle a guy. Like that is like 84 when that was made.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is so fucking far beyond the scope of anything being done at the time. There may have been some independent movies trying it, but they were like, oh, we got studio money. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, right.
What really fucked me up, like it's not even a horror movie, but like I can't even think of it. The beginning of Suburbia with the dog, and I can't do it. I always skip. That was like unexpected, and I was like, why the fuck is that even here? Like, whose idea was that? Why?
There was no reason behind it.
No.
Done in order to grab attention, which
pretty much.
Right. So here's the thing: if there's an attention-grabbing movie, if there's one scene in the movie that's just immediately there to get your attention, right? It's just there to be like, "What the fuck?" And then you're watching the film. That's one thing. But if it's nothing but that, that's when I'm out. Like I can't. Like all we were trying to do was be an asshole. Like the house that Jack built, another Lars Van Trier movie, right?
I liked it.
No. Here's the thing: I thought the idea was good, but the fact that they kept pushing it. Funny Games did it better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the idea behind it made sense to me, but Funny Games did the same thing, except they also checked the viewer for doing it. Like they went above and beyond in the idea.
Yeah.
Lars von Trier was just like make people uncomfortable, which is what he's done in every fucking movie he's ever. I really don't like Lars von Trier. Sorry, that was just a chance to hate on Lars von Trier. It's not.
I don't know if you guys saw the movie Hard Candy.
Great movie. Great fucking movie.
The castration scene is like, oh, geez.
Yeah. What's even better about that scene, though, the fact that was you could sit there the entire time with your legs crossed, thinking,
going ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, exactly. That was, and it wasn't. Once again, it wasn't done just to be shocking.
Yeah, no, there was a whole reason behind it.
Honestly, I would say it would be more shocking if it hadn't resulted in the way that it did.
Yeah.
Like the actual outcome was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah, it is.
Elliot Page.
It's on Tubi right now, I think.
And Patrick, God, what's his name? Dude from the Conjuring universe. Patrick Wilson? No.
Oh, hell, I can't remember his name.
He's a great actor. He's fucking good.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. He was in Bone Tomahawk as well.
Oh, Bone Tomahawk. There's
that
a scene
movie. Let's talk about Bone Tomahawk for a second.
Inspired by Terrifier would be my guess.
No, it came out before.
Yeah, I think it did come out
before. Did it come out before Terrifier?
It's older than Terrifier.
I saw Terrifier before I saw Bone Tomahawk. I guess I bought it.
But Bone Tomahawk older, for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Only by like a year, but it's still came out before.
Talk about a weird for Kurt Russell.
That movie, man. I went into that not knowing, like, I was told it was a Western, and the guy kind of told me about the, like, let's, fuck, people have seen it by that point, but it's Patrick Wilson, thank you. But like he's told me about this movie about these Native Americans who did not speak but communicated through the phone in their fucking throat, and then they used a bone tomahawk like made out of a fucking horse jaw or animal jaw of some sort. And I was like, okay, I like the sound of this. Like, I like westerns, whatever. And he's like, it's not your typical western.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay. He let me borrow it, like the DVD. And I watched it, and it fucking blew my mind. Like, from the jump, that movie had my attention.
Every fucking moment of it, every part in it is played perfectly.
Yep.
Every fucking moment of that movie was like somebody put thought, time, and effort into that shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do remember it is the last movie that I like. I was watching it by myself. I fucking bought it on iTunes. It's still in the library. Like I literally bought it. I was by my like I was up working on a project. Everybody was asleep, and I woke my wife up, going "Yes!" when he fucking ended up fucking dude's
getting
foot.
his payback.
I literally screamed. I was like, "Yes!"
Yeah, so did I.
Cheered out loud about that shit. That's how absorbed into that fucking movie I was. Which has not happened since maybe The Neverending Story.
Yeah. Right.
Shout out to Gamora.
Exactly.
I'm more of a Princess Bride kind of guy, but
I love The Princess Bride.
You guys seen it? Oh fuck, I love that.
Love it, of course. I watched it in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
I watched it in my English class.
We can reenact it now. Who wants to take what part?
Right. It's a shame I have to kill you. It definitely puts a damper on our relationship.
He's been mostly the fact that he's been mostly dead all day is one of my favorite fucking quotes.
Yeah, right.
From each movie. Guys, he's been mostly dead all day.
Mine's the Battle of Wits, and he goes, "Let's see who's right and who is dead," and then switches against the whole Battle of Wits. That thing, good scene.
Only dog battle.
Only dog battle. The fucking, I mean, and anybody could talk about the Vicini thing with the whole like only slightly less known is never get involved in a land war.
War with Asia.
A land war in Asia.
Never get involved with a land war in a land war with Asia. Never get involved with the Battle of Wits with a Sicilian when you're unarmed.
When death is on the line.
When death is on the line.
And then he falls over.
He starts laughing. He falls over dead.
Oh,
Wallace Shaw, I believe.
Wallace Shaw.
He's a good actor. Is he still alive?
Great. Yeah. He most recently in Young Sheldon.
Yeah, he had that bit of a lisp going on.
He is. He's 80-something years old now. He's still going.
Right on.
Still doing the things, man. Looks really good for his age.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, I guess there's only so much that can go wrong after My Dinner with Andre.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, good movie. If anybody's never seen it, has nothing to do with this.
My Dinner with Andre?
Yeah. Wallace Shaw, it's actually the entire...
I'm assuming Andre the Giant?
No, you would think so. It's actually Wallace Shaw talking to a friend that he hasn't seen in a long time who has decided to just stop taking part in society. And there's like the entire thing is a philosophical conversation, except for his friend
really cool
is 100% right about everything he fucking says. Like, why am I not going to do it? Well, here's why. And it's just this. If you have a meditative moment through the course of a weekend where you are alone for an hour and a half, watch it. I'm not going to say it's a life altering moment. There's going to be shit you read it or you hear in it where you're like, oh shit. Yeah, really? Yeah.
Right.
You will think about it. It will make you think, which honestly is the best you can ask for any entertainment you go after.
Make you think.
Yeah. Give me a reason to consider what you've given me. Yeah.
That's Aesop Rock for me. Have you guys seen this guy?
We have talked about that. Or we've talked about
he's on a trip. I don't really know what the guy's deal is. I think he's weird, man.
My thoughts
are like weird.
What he does, and it
He's
matters.
a weird guy.
listen. Like, I mean, that's that. At the end of the day, like, what are you looking for in entertainment? For me, it's anything that makes me not consider my life for the time I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, maybe that sounds a little defeatist, but like, if you give me a horror movie, a comedy, give me a fucking drama, anything in which I care about the character that doesn't exist more than my own life, just for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's important. That's good entertainment.
Yeah.
And any book, any song, any album, you sit down and you're like, holy shit, that's a 45-minute album, and I feel like I've only listened to it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
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 That's a great album.
That's several of those.
Yeah, no, they exist all over the place, and those are the ones that transcend fucking time. I mean, even it may not be the genre that you're into, but I mean, you could almost anything Pink Floyd has ever released. You could sit down to a Pink Floyd album, do whatever you're doing, and the next thing you know, it's over, and you don't know what happened with the last 45 minutes of your life.
Right.
There are other albums that don't apply. I don't want to say ICP, but I will.
They've got some good. They're not total garbage, right? Like ICP.
No, they can't be total garbage because they would not have the following that they have.
Yeah.
They can't be total
Right.
garbage. It's not my garbage.
Their fans are so.
There is trash in love. You know?
There's people
I mean,
that
and I
like
say
really are
all
there
respect
for
to the
music,
cat.
and then there's like that
Yeah.
other element to it where like
The Juggalos, man, they're
yeah,
fucking
that's what I mean. Like
totally different
I think that's
breed,
what
bro.
ruins them for me is like their following. It's like I don't know, they aren't even really that great, but like I think that's what bothers me the most.
Is that people
Yeah,
get
it's like
That think
they're
they're that
like
good. Yeah.
yeah.
them out here in some fucking nipple covers and possibly a fucking weird crotch spike thing.
With fishnets on my arms for some reason.
Well, it's not. Here's the thing. My thoughts are they are the anti-fish. They are the anti.
They are definitely the antithesis of what fish think.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
so, there's like it's the same thing. It's the same fucking lot. It's just filled with weirder people putting things in their butt.
Yeah. Well, and they're thinking that they do well is they do it themselves, which is probably how they stick things up their ass and shit like that. This is
My
like
suspicion is that it's a group thing sometimes, which
it's
makes
out in the woods, man. It's in the bush. They throw their concert like way out of town.
You know what else was in the
They're
bush?
like,
Another shocking movie. Go ahead, Jason. Finish your thought.
Please,
Yeah.
shocking movie.
But the Ned Beatty Deliverance.
Oh yeah.
Squeal, piggy, squeal. Like, well, why would I want to get involved in shit like that? No, I'm good. No, ICP is not for me.
ICP should make a horror movie. Like, why haven't they done that yet?
They have, I believe.
Have they?
They made that. They made those other two movies. They weren't really horror though. They were like comedy.
Yeah.
Well, if it's
Cradle of
funny,
Filth
just
did
watch
more than
juggalos
honestly,
chopping each
Cradle of
other up.
Filth, apologies for them.
Yeah, but then you have the Foo Fighters in Studio 666.
Which was a great fucking. That thing was
Still
great.
haven't seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Speaking of which, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but that movie, way more fucking brutal than you would expect.
Yeah.
So
That's what I've heard. I need to watch it.
like it's not, and I'm not saying that it has to be like that. Should not be a prerequisite to whether or not you sit down and enjoy a horror movie. There are horror movies out there that never
I like
show a
brutality.
drop of blood that are fucking terrifying. Studio 666 is brutal as shit. You would not think Dave Grohl and the guys would be like, you know what? Show the brain.
Yeah.
I can run with it though. And it is great.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
great.
I've been meaning to watch that. I just keep forgetting it exists because I'll keep.
Well, it's also you watch it, and you can't help but picture the behind the scenes. You know, they're
yeah, and then you know that
You know they're having a blast.
Oh,
You know
absolutely.
they're having a blast.
There were moments in that movie where I swear to God, you could see first off like practical effects
you can
involved.
tell he's gonna die soon.
I mean, you watch the. All right, so Taylor, this is not a spoiler. He died. Everybody fucking dies in that movie. But you know for a fact that when he was set up to be fucking symboled, he was sitting there like, okay, do it, dead. And then he was like, this is awesome. And then he was stuck there for the bright shots. And I cannot help it. It's fucking hilarious. And everybody on set was probably laughing their asses off.
Oh, yeah. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall.
Another surprisingly shocking movie, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I watched it the other day.
Love that fucking movie. I will watch it anytime it comes across my screen.
Yep.
So much worse than you would imagine. So much worse because it's so silly. It's so stupid. It's wonderful.
It's a cinematic masterpiece.
When the first time you watch it, you don't really have any sympathy for the rednecks just because they're rednecks. Doesn't
You've
matter
seen this movie.
if
You
they're
know
good people or what. It's that stereotypical redneck.
Right.
This guy's
at the very beginning of it, yeah. But then the hilarity
opening.
And they're such great people too. The two characters, Tucker and Dale, great friends, loyal, respectful to women, everything, man. There's best guys you can ask for.
just dumber than a box of hammers.
Just dumber than a box of hammers, man.
Tyler Levine's every line. I don't know what's wrong with your friends. Are they not taking their medication? Or... is one of the greatest deliveries of any line ever in any fucking silly horror movie. That moment,
hooked himself head first into the wood chipper.
I don't like.
I love the wood chipper, man. And I want to see a good wood chipper scene that you're not expecting.
That is a great wood chipper scene, man.
Yeah.
I would also argue the Hills Have Eyes remake.
Yeah. Now, that was on my list.
The original
was on my list.
Eyes, right? It is definitely above and beyond for the time it was released. The remake, once again, remakes being what they are, I support any remake. Please remake the shit out of it. The remake of The Hills Have Eyes, that fucking movie keeps you uncomfortable through all of it, even though you know the story. And it's not because there are plenty of scenes where they fucking kind of fade off while what's happening. Like, it's still done in a classic manner. Granted, they show some shit too, a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. But there are plenty of scenes where they fade away. It is still done in a classic manner, but it still leaves you feeling uncomfortable. That was done very well.
Yeah.
The second
movie, the real horror goes up in your own mind, right? Like, what's scary.
The second one was on my list too, but because of the porta potty scene.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking about. Actually,
no.
The fucking it touched my ass, like that whole fucking thing, like that scene. He hid in a pool of shit to avoid what was coming.
Well, no, they tortured him. They put all kinds of cuts all over his body and then put him in the. That's how they killed him.
Oh. See, I've always
infection.
I thought that's how he got away. I thought he got away from him and got into the porta potty.
No, they put him in there. They put all kinds of little cuts all over his body and put him in there to give him a mass infection. Yeah.
Which, by the way,
they clean him off. Oh, that's brutal as fuck.
That was pretty brutal.
Was that just not a nice way to go? Like, nobody wants, like, in the afterlife? Like, how did you die? Tyrannosaurus Rex ate me. That's pretty awesome. But
right.
Put me in a porta potty.
On remake, Dead remake.
The what?
The Evil Dead remake was brutal as shit.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking brutal as hell. And what's fucked up about it, like, there was a lot of, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've already mentioned how much I hate Lars von Trier, and I'll do it again. His shit was done shock value for shock value's sake. In the remake of the fucking Evil Dead, it wasn't really just brutality for brutality's sake. It wasn't to one up the original. It was to show the fucking degradation, the horror inherent in these creatures coming back to Earth. Right? So it wasn't just like the idea that these things were taking over bodies and just didn't care about them. And I actually thought the same thing about Night of the Demons on the remake. The original Night of the Demons is a great movie. It's fucking incredible. I think it stands above and beyond on several different levels.
Yeah.
Remake, which not enough people saw, took it and ran with it. They made it better. They really
I love the Night of the Demons sequence.
Yeah, the remake was
remake.
Incredible. There are so many remakes out there that people don't give credit to because the horror community is
kind of toxic sometimes.
Toxic. Toxic is a good way. That just
Very,
let's call it
very.
they are protective of the things that
protective over what they care about. So much.
which I like. There are some movies you could not remake. You can't. Well, actually, no. I take that back because I would have originally argued you could not remake Texas Chainsaw, except they did fucking great with it. It was wonderful. You can't remake a Nightmare on Elm Street, though. You can't. No. Like, there's no way to make it darker. It's dark enough, and there's no way you can replace Robert Englund. He is Freddy fucking Krueger.
Yeah.
Right. Even Halloween, you could remake it the one time. You try for it the second time, it's cash grab, and everybody knows it. Yep. You can't. So maybe the better way to put it is you could remake a movie, but you cannot add sequels.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. I would say that's fair.
I do. Too.
I can't.
I think that like a movie usually has a statement to make. You know, like you walk away from it and you don't grow from it or whatever, but it makes a statement, whatever it is. And then when you start throwing sequels on top of it,
it doesn't work.
It's already been made. It's already been said, and then.
Did you guys watch the Hellraiser remake?
Yeah, with the girl and the boyfriend.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was well thought out. The effects were great. The designs were good. The idea that they took the Cenobites and they were like, "You are made of your own flesh," kind of a thing. Like it is grotesque and it is painful and it's horrible and it's what it was meant to be. It is. I understand it. Even Clive Barker was like, "Yes, that's it. That's yes." You know,
Clive Barker. I'm so glad you said that because actually I have an unexpected death scene I'd like to just touch on. I took a girlfriend to a Clive Barker movie. It was Lord of Illusions. And, yeah, dude. And we go in there and we'd been fighting. Like we were on the verge of a breakup. She had cheated on me. And then this date we went on was like, we're going to patch things up, right? But things aren't good. I was being a dick the whole night, like getting tickets, kind of just, we're going to Lord of Illusions. She's like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, no, we're going to do that. And we go in there and we walk in, sit down. We're a little late because I think we were fighting outside. It was a horrible night, right? Like it wasn't a good night. But then there's the guy sitting in the chair with thousands of knives like stuck in his body and he's still alive. Because whoever was torturing him had the anatomy figured out so he could put knives in hers and keep them alive. And it was so gross at the time that my girlfriend took the popcorn, dumped it on my head, walked out of the movie. And I was just sitting there covered in popcorn, fucking watching the sickest shit ever. And I just, I'll never forget that.
So that was that you can't really argue with that. Actually, you know what? That's a round out to this. You can't really fucking beat that as far as a
can't beat it.
No, that caps off just about anything I've ever.
Great. A lot of people, Scott Bakula, I guess people were coming off of fucking Quantum Leap and they didn't want to fucking watch it or some shit. It's a good movie. I thought it was good anyways. You know.
I grew up to that.
Well, that's, I mean, the whole.
Quantum Leap. Oh my God. That's a whole nother episode.
That's a
whole other episode.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I used to be friends with a guy that was related to not the main character that jumps, but his buddy.
The time is Sam.
Yeah.
You know, Sam was Scott Bakula.
Sam was
Al. And I think he's in PDU. He's one of our PDU guys. He's related to Al.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That guy,
he's a good guy.
That was one of the greatest shows. I mean, it's once again an entire other episode. You could talk about Quantum Leap indefinitely, including the most recent reboot, which was not bad. If anybody watched
I'll have to check it out.
It was pretty good. They kind of continue. It's not even a fucking reboot. It's a continuation. Right? Sounds
Give it a whirl.
The whole idea.
I like it.
But yeah, no, we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, no. Again, we can go on forever. It's getting late. We gotta call it. It's boom. But Terry, my man, thank you so much, dude. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
Talking some bullshit with us. This was fun.
That's exactly.
Had a lot of laughs.
We did not stick to the subject, which is a shame because there's.
There's so many more to cover.
Do we fucking ever?
No, we don't. We've never stuck to a subject.
Yeah, we'll definitely do this again for sure. We definitely got to bring you back.
Yeah, man.
Because I love having conversations with friends.
Yeah.
That's actually the main point of this.
I'm gonna watch this after. I'm gonna watch every movie and come back a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when you get to the Lars Van Trier shit, just skip it.
Yep. And yeah.
Sorry, I have some aggression.
But
fair enough. I'm opinionated with my own damn self. I know you guys have seen me talking about no effects.
On that note, yeah, R.I.P. On that note, Jason, Craig, until next time, Terry, thanks again. Go Oilers.
Go Oilers.
Get ready for serious action. It's Batman at his best. The Bat Signal Jet seeks out the evil Scarecrow. Batteries not included.
Scared Scarecrow? Fire! Gotta go!
But Infrared Batman will finish him off. The best just got better. Batman.
More paste, thick, and chunky salsa. Here. This ain't paste, thick, and chunky salsa. Well, woo, doggies.
Paste is made with big chunks of tomatoes, onions, and peppers.
Perfect for dipping.
By folks in San Antonio.
Who know what salsa should taste like. Well, this stuff's made in New York City. New York City. Jake, it's time you switch brands.
Pick up a thick and chunky one. Pick up the paste.